More than just money. Today, those green pieces of paper we hold in our hands. The American dollar. It's not just a currency. It's the symbol of an empire, the power of a nation, and the invisible ruler of the modern world. But have you ever wondered, how did this paper become the measure of value across the entire globe? How did a young nation, just emerging from a civil war, manage to print a currency that billions of people now carry and spend every single day? This video will tell the story of the dollar's birth, its rise, and the key events that turned it into a global symbol of power. 1. Chaos. The United States of America declared its independence, but there was one huge problem. There was no common currency. Each state printed its own money. Some used the British pound, others the French franc. The economy was in chaos, trade was a mess, and inflation was out of control. During the Revolutionary War, the first American paper money, the Continental, was issued, but it quickly lost its value. People even came up with a saying, "Not worth a Continental." This was America's first major economic lesson. Without trust, money is just paper. 2. Alexander Hamilton and the New Financial Order. In 1790, a man stepped onto the stage. Alexander Hamilton, young, ambitious, and full of vision. He became the first Secretary of the Treasury of the United States. Hamilton's idea was revolutionary. A nation stands strong on a strong economy, and a strong economy is built upon a strong central bank. In 1791, the first Bank of the United States was established. Its purpose was to manage debt, regulate trade, and create a national currency. This institution laid the foundation for the birth of the American dollar. 3. Where does the word dollar come from? The word dollar actually has German roots. In the 16th century, silver coins were minted in a valley in Germany called Joachimsthal, known as thaler. Over time, this word evolved in English into dollar. In 1785, the U.S. Congress made it official. The official currency of the United States shall be the dollar. 4. The gold and silver standards. In 1792, the Coinage Act was passed. From then on, the U.S. officially began minting its own coins. $1 equals 24.75 grains of pure gold equals 371.25 grains of pure silver. The dollar was tied to real metal, tangible value. This built public trust. It wasn't just paper, it was something backed by value, and that trust became the dollar's foundation. 5. The Civil War and the return of paper money. But in the 1860s, the American Civil War turned everything upside down. To fund the war, the government started printing paper money again. Greenbacks. At first, people didn't trust them. But when the Union won the war and the government stood firmly behind this currency, greenbacks became the first real form of the modern dollar. This era proved one thing: if the state can back it, even paper can become powerful. 6. The Federal Reserve and the modern dollar, 1913. By 1913, the U.S. economy had grown, even become a global force, but banks were still independent and financial panics were common. So the Federal Reserve System, FED, was created. The FED became the central bank of the United States, controlling the destiny of the dollar. From then on, only one institution had the power to issue money. The dollar became organized, managed, a planned force. 7. World War II and the Bretton Woods Agreement, 1944. The real turning point came in 1944. As World War II neared its end, nations sought to rebuild. At that time, the U.S. had the world's strongest economy and nearly all the world's gold reserves. At the Bretton Woods Conference, the nations made a historic decision. All currencies will be pegged to the U.S. dollar, and the dollar will be pegged to gold. In other words, the dollar became as good as gold. This made it the world's safe haven currency. The dollar became the language of global trade. 8. Nixon and the end of the gold standard, 1971. But this system didn't last forever. In the 1970s, U.S. spending skyrocketed, especially because of the Vietnam War. Other nations began exchanging their dollars for gold. The U.S. gold reserves started to shrink rapidly. Then, in 1971, President Richard Nixon appeared on television and made a historic announcement. The dollar will no longer be backed by gold. From that moment, the dollar became a fiat currency, valuable only because people believed in it. And surprisingly, it didn't lose its value. Instead, it remained the world's most powerful currency. 9. The petrodollar system and global dominance. In the 1970s, the U.S. struck secret deals with Saudi Arabia and other oil-producing nations. The deal was simple. All oil sales will be conducted in U.S. dollars. This became the petrodollar system, meaning if you wanted to buy oil, you needed dollars. This created a global demand for U.S. currency. Every country began holding dollars in their reserves, and thus the dollar ceased to be just America's money. It became the world's currency. 10. Today, the digital dollar and the future of power. Today, the dollar remains the most powerful currency on Earth. Over 80% of global trade is conducted in dollars. Most central banks hold dollars as their primary reserves. But a new era is emerging. Digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, China's digital yuan. Will these challenge the dollar's throne? It's still uncertain. But one thing is clear. The dollar has become more than just money. It's a symbol of power, belief, and control. Those green notes are America's most enduring signature on the world. The dollar, more than just paper. The story of the dollar is not just about money. It's about trust, systems, and strategy. It began with gold, was tested by wars, and strengthened by politics. Today it circulates digitally on screens, but its meaning remains the same. Power, trust, control. Perhaps one day something will replace the green paper. But through history, the dollar has proven one truth. Real power doesn't lie in the money that's printed. It lies in the belief behind it.